Good morning, Notre Dame. I'm Mr. Xavier. I'm the Student Council moderator. Today, you will hear from 4 candidates who wish to be your next Student Council president. Please listen to each candidate closely, as they will give reasons of why they should be the next Student Council president. I caution you that this is not a popularity contest. You will be deciding on who will best reflect you and the student body, and who will represent Notre Dame. With that being said, here are our candidates.
Good morning, Notre Dame. My name is Eric Harkins, and I want to be your next Student Council president. Let me tell you about myself. I'm from North Haven. I went to St. Rita's and North Haven Middle School. I'm the captain of the tennis team. I'll be a peer counselor next year, and have been a class officer in the past. I'm a big fan of Notre Dame sports and try to go as many games as possible. I think I'm right for the job because I love the school and would do anything to improve it. And the best way for me to do that is to be Student Council president. Now to my slate. My vice president is my cousin and best friend, Rory Schreck. Rory plays soccer, tennis, and basketball, which is obvious because he's 6'5". Fun fact about Rory, he couldn't dunk until very recently. Rory is the best guy I know for the job. He is reliable and really cares about this school, and is one of the main reasons I decided to come here. Next is my secretary. Great guy who I've known since I was a little kid is Mike Brooks, who is also 6'5", but has been able to dunk for a while. He's a starter on the Notre Dame basketball team, so you may recognize him from the videos of his alley-oops or poster dunks. He is also the vice president of Minority Student Union. Last is my treasurer, Aiden Walsh, who is such a great guy that I let him be friends with my sister. He plays football and lacrosse and is part of Model UN. Also, he told me that he finished 6th in stock market club, which as a treasurer is good because he knows how to handle money well. All of us have had several people from our families attend Notre Dame, so we do really care about what goes on in the school. Now I think you should vote for me for Student Council President, in case my slate hasn't already sold you on that idea. My main promise for if you vote for me is that I will work as hard as I can for things to get done. My first idea is one that several faculty members mentioned at this year's pep rally, having a pep rally for every home football game. The pep rally is always fun every year, and there's definitely things that we can add that have been missing. Plus, I figure even if you don't like pep rallies, at least you're not sitting in class. At those pep rallies, we can have different types of events, like games putting the captains of each team or presidents of different clubs up against each other. A similar idea is having a pep rally for each sports season. Being only a spring sport athlete, I know it would be nice to be recognized like that. As I said before, I'm a big fan of ND sports. This year I tried to make every football, basketball, and hockey game. I'm the guy that brings the GoPro into the student section. This year, we had great crowds at many of our games, but I think we can improve on that, starting with a different student section theme for every game, not just having whiteouts every time. In past years, we have only had one tailgate right at the beginning of the football season, and that is it. I want to try and have an event before every home game next year. Also, I've noticed with myself and with many others that we have lost interest in the Green Knight app. Last year, people were very into it because the prizes were great. This year, I think the reason people have not used it as much is that there's no real incentive. Next year, I'll make sure we get prizes that will entice people to get points. The only way to get points is to go to events, so by doing this, we can improve the attendance at several events, whether it be sports, mixers, or etc. One thing that has been a hot topic with the teachers and the administration is the dress code sweatshirt policy. I know it is a stretch, and I especially cannot make any promises, but it is a goal of mine to get this changed. I believe we should at least be allowed to wear the pullovers that we get from sports. They aren't much different than the pullovers that we can wear now, except for the fact that they're Under Armour, much nicer looking, and we prefer wearing them. I promise to negotiate with Mr. LaPut and the administration about getting this rule changed. Somehow. I, for one, don't want to see his collection get even bigger. Also, many people have been asking about if our grade in a class is over a 90, can we skip the final in that class? I promise to get the administration to at least consider this, as it would take a great burden off of a lot of us, and would be a just reward for working hard all trimester. Another idea that has been thrown around by past candidates is to get an actual mascot costume for our school. I was part of the group that went down to Texas where we went to another Holy Cross school. They're the same mascot as us, and they have 2 mascot costumes. I promised to communicate with them about where they got their new one, or, depending on the condition their second one is in, if they could send that one to us. My last big idea is improving communication with Sacred Heart. I know we'll never change the fact that we don't have girls, which is upsetting, but we can make sure they know about all of our events and that we know about theirs. Not many people know this, but Rory and I have a special connection with Sacred Heart. Our aunt is Sister Sheila O'Neill, who is a president over at Shaw, and actually was a Knight of Honor this year. So I guess you could say we have some serious pull there. So in conclusion, you should vote for me, Eric Harkins, and Slate A for Student Council. We will make sure to be the voice to the administration that the student body needs. John F. Kennedy once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." I say, ask not what Notre Dame can do for you, ask what you can do for Notre Dame. The first step in doing this would be electing me as president, because you would, in turn, be helping Notre Dame to become an even better place than it already is. Lastly, I don't want you guys to assume that I'm doing this just to put on my resume. I really do love this school. Also, because you know what they say when you assume. You make a Fairfield Prep student out of you and me. And I know you don't want that. So again, on this election day, vote Slate A for Student Council, and we won't let you down. I can promise you.
Where do you see yourself in 4 years? This is the first question I was asked when I walked through the doors of Notre Dame. I had no expectations except for one, to someday rise above, lead, and impact this school. I chose Notre Dame because of its potential to educate students in the classroom, on the field, in their communities, and even abroad. Notre Dame is much more than a normal high school. It is a symbol of what it means to educate, enlighten, and advocate for all of its students and members. Good morning. My name is Joseph Koss, class of 2018. As a peer counselor, president and officer of many clubs, the receiver of multiple academic and service awards, and simply a determined leader, I speak before you today to reintroduce what Notre Dame once was. I am running for Student Council President to reinvigorate and reimagine the potentials that Notre Dame can have for all who attend. I pledge to take the efforts of our past leaders, the powerful voices of our student body, and that diverse community of brothers to create an environment which will relate to every student despite their grade level or involvement. You see, the first thing that I hear when the word brotherhood is mentioned is unity. Many of us in this school, including myself, have had the pleasure to preach about the true brotherhood that exists throughout each day. However, are we really telling the truth? Galileo once stated, all truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them. I believe that the truth behind the Notre Dame brotherhood is that we are the farthest from fully united. Thus, with the members of my slate, read by Gile, professional musician and bilingual student, as my vice president, Colton Varholic, multi-sport athlete and community activist, as my secretary, and Nick Valero, a service-oriented and passionate leader, as my treasurer. We all plan to achieve the brotherhood, which enticed all of us upon our arrival to Notre Dame. There are 5 steps that are going to be taken in order to fully encapsulate the idea of brotherhood. To increase the number of activities celebrating diversity and culture, the implementation of a school-wide club fair, a successful school-wide field day competition, an increased class variety, and a more lenient requirement for school activities. My first piece of the puzzle connects directly to my vice president, read by Gile. Last winter, many of the students of our foreign exchange program celebrated their Chinese New Year in the library. By including food, games, culture, and especially students, I found the event to be the most successful celebration of diversity I have ever witnessed in this school. So, why stop here? I plan to gather the many cultures of this school and to encourage them to display their unique backgrounds through a school-wide day of culture. By including authentic cuisine, sports, clothing, and even purchasable merchandise, we can introduce the diversity that has been hidden within our school for multiple years. Second, I am very aware that there is one phrase which not every student at Notre Dame has the ability to ultimately fulfill, and that is to get involved in everything. The hardest part for the underclassmen is to adapt to a different school environment. I believe that there are so many opportunities to get involved, especially considering our school's wide variety of sports, clubs, and extracurricular activities. However, I do not believe that our whole student body is fully aware of what these activities are. Therefore, I plan to host a school-wide club and sports fair in which the entire student body will have the chance to learn about the large selection of after-school activities. By allowing sports teams and clubs to both present and represent their strengths and interesting qualities, and by giving students the chance to schedule more clubs and sports into their lives, the Notre Dame Brotherhood will be rebuilt into one that connects on so many levels. I am also upset to see the many clubs and sports who do not receive the same recognition for their achievements as other activities do. We are a school who should be proud of our accomplishments and show our rivals how hard we work to win. Once this is established, the student body deserves some old-fashioned fun. Thus, my team is more than ready to devise a plan to host a successful Notre Dame TA Field Day and other events on our new side fields. By having this event, the teamwork we establish will directly benefit the redefining of Notre Dame's brotherhood. We plan to educate the heart through our reconstruction of the Notre Dame Brotherhood. I also want to highlight the academic side of the spectrum. I noticed that the electives and classes in general are not satisfying the wants and needs of our student body. My team plans to create a council with the department heads to discuss the potential behind offering more AP classes as well as a larger and more enjoyable amount of electives in order to prepare ourselves for life after high school. My team is prepared to meet bi-weekly with every class officer and many other random student representatives to stay up to date on certain issues, wants, or ideas that will be solved, granted, and implemented by our hardworking and trustworthy team. Lastly, I am disgusted. I have witnessed many of my friends and fellow students be rejected from participating in school activities because of certain financial reasons. Activities like extended study and even prom are probably the most exciting parts of our last years of high school. Why does our school treat us this way? I think that this is completely unfair and it should be changed the first day I begin. This school should not punish us for working hard or for the things that we cannot control. Notre Dame is better than that. I have seen us during football and baseball games, and we are a school who can demolish whole teams in a single play. I dare you to recognize this school's potential and great accomplishments. Many say that we are ND, but this is faded by other leaders in the past. We must make ND great again, and with my leadership, we can. What separates us from the rest of the candidates is our motto. Don't find a fault, find a solution. Other candidates will only point out the negative aspects of this school, yet that only shows the lack of passion they have for it. I am not only a student who has passion for Notre Dame, but I bleed green and gold. Consider the unity, consider the tremendous power. With the support of our slate, Notre Dame will be more than just great. Vote Slate B. Join the rebellion. We are rebels with a cause. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Derek Palmels Jr., current president of the junior class. As a Notre Dame brother, I'm highly involved throughout the school as a varsity wrestler, current member in MSU, Bro, Green Knights Nation, Alum Knights, and have recently been accepted into the peer counseling program. I'm running with the help of Michael Cicero as vice president, Liam Nuttall as treasurer, and Caleb Cadet as secretary, who are all peer counselors as well. Our core platform includes revising the final exam system, improving funding and support of clubs, and involving more students in the school affairs in the student council. Inside the classroom, we hope to further reward hardworking students for their efforts throughout the term. For many of us, finals are a very stressful and busy time. By allowing students in all grades to be exempt from their finals, they have an A or better, and we can be rewarded for our hard work during the term. This can not only encourage us all to work harder throughout the term, but also offer us relief and reward when we do well in the class. For most of us, school does not end at the 2:30 bell. Many of us spend our afternoons on the field, on sports teams, or involved in clubs. Despite the wide variety of clubs our school has to offer, we believe that we can bring them to a new height by improving opportunities for sponsorship and funding, creating more organized schedules, and providing designated times for students to attend clubs, ensuring they would not miss their sports. We believe that clubs can be made an even better place for students to express their talents and interests with the Notre Dame brothers. Finally, we believe that Notre Dame can be best improved by involving more students in the social, academic, athletic, and extracurricular areas. This means bringing together students from every grade, background, and interest group to provide their opinions on school-wide issues. For example, we propose a bi-weekly or monthly meetings where students can bring their opinions, concerns, and questions to the student council. Additionally, we would like to have a centrally located box where students can anonymously submit suggestions, concerns, or critiques that we will look at and discuss. By expanding the student input to the student council, we believe that Notre Dame can better provide for all our brothers. Additionally, we want to give the entire student body access to the Wi-Fi after school ends for their personal devices. We also hope to bring increased use of the new football field for not only sports, but also annual school events, such as barbecues and school Olympics. Lastly, we want to embrace the diverse culture Notre Dame has by running a culture day, similar to how international students ran their Chinese New Year event. These additions can strengthen the brotherhood we all share while making our time here more memorable. Our school has implemented many positive changes under a new administrative structure, including Chromebooks, weekly spirit days, and revised dress code. We want to continue these advancements for all our students. Our outlook for the future of Notre Dame is in great hands with the help of your vote. It's important that everyone votes in this election because everyone's voice and opinions deserve to be heard. And let us be your voice. Vote Slate C. Thank you.
Walking through the Notre Dame halls for the past 3 years, I've experienced many things. I've experienced brotherhood, a Holy Cross education, and a great time with friends. But I've yet to experience a student council president who has given his blood, his sweat, and his tears into helping the student's voice reach its pinnacle. That's what I'll be bringing to the table. To start things off, I would like to give you a perspective on not only me, but who my slate is. At treasurer, I have Marco Secaroli. Marco is a natural-born leader who has determination of the likes I've never seen before in a person. He's a very hard-working person who grinds into everything he does. At secretary, I have Ben Hassan. Not only is Ben Hassan a great leader, he's also one of the most reliable and trusted people I know. Ben is willing to do anything to help students and always goes out of his way to do it. At vice president, I have Zachary Dumas. He's a future hockey captain and is a very hard-working person in general. He shows an unmatched work ethic that helps other students reach their potential. And last but not least, you have me as a student council president. I'm nothing more than a voice for my peers. I'm on a mission to help the Notre Dame body show what they actually want to say and do. I believe that this slate has perfect exemplars of what Notre Dame man has to be. Some of my ideas are that we could have surveys to choose student field trips and lunches. We could extend shorts for a longer period of time during the beginning of the year and the end of the year. We could have school spirit and more student spirit in the student body, having more pep rallies not only for spring sports, but for fall sports also. Have more seminars, and we can get the 55 back in the final. And if electives, if you have a 90 or above, no exams, not only for seniors, but for all classmen. We also would like to implement an elective for juniors to learn more and understand more about the college process. We are nothing more than the middleman between you, your dreams, and your voice being heard. We are not here for ourselves. We are here for every Notre Dame student who has felt their voices unheard and that is trying to make a change. With this one vote, you could change the course of Notre Dame history forever. Next year will be your most memorable year. We will make great memories. We will break down the barriers of student council, and we will show what Notre Dame true brotherhood is all about. There will be a green machine of likes that nobody has ever seen before. We will not rally only at sporting events, but at dramatic events also. We will ignite a burning passion in the students that our presence will be felt everywhere, and it will show what Notre Dame true brotherhood is all about, and that we would model ourselves on every day. Other schools will envy us, and other kids will want to be us. After we leave Notre Dame, we want to leave a legacy that not only impacts us, but that impacts Notre Dame brotherhood forever. So I have one question. Do you want to make history? Vote Slate D. Facts. Thank you.
Hello, ND Brothers. My name is Rob Ludwig. My team and I would like to lead our school and serve as your 2018 Student Council. I say team because I feel like that's what we've cultivated here at ND. Since freshman year, I've grown to feel at home here. I would like to continue to promote what the school is all about and strive to be a role model. For the past 3 years, I've been immersed in a variety of activities at ND. Athletes, I've been there. I've tried out for 2 sports and played on the 2 on the varsity level, soccer and golf. I've also volunteered weekly at Milford Hospital and to help out at school events and ceremonies in any way that I can. I'm a member of Model UN, Team ND, Ski Club, Video Production, and Stock Market Club. I'm also dedicated to my schoolwork, but most importantly, I take pride in being a good listener, being open-minded, and having diverse friendships. I know guys from every sort of demographic and interest here, so if I'm your leader, I can relate to your thoughts and relay them no matter who you are. Now let's talk about what's most important, what my presidency would bring to you, most important body. I believe that I would offer you the most beneficial and productive presidency out of all the candidates. For the past year, I've worked extensively on reforming the exam policy at ND. We would like to implement a system where if you were to have a high enough average in a class at the end of a trimester, let's say a 90 or above, then you would be exempt from taking the exam for that class. Some of the benefits from this plan would be reduced stress amongst the students, more learning time for teachers, and a higher incentive for students to do well. And it's not impossible. We've already made a video proposing the idea to administration, who's open to consideration. We've seen it successful at schools like Laurelton Hall and St. Joe's already, and we'd like to extend it to the whole student body. Another idea we have is that if a teacher is not in class for a day, the class should just become a study hall. There will be no need for the school to find subs who would otherwise be sitting through a class of pointless busy work. Again, this is possible. Prep does this as well as Laurelton. Aside from that, I would strive to organize more pep rallies, and on spirit days, let's wear shorts. With the rise of Chromebooks, I would also like to implement a rental system in the library where you can borrow an iPhone charger or a Chromebook charger for a set amount of time. I will get this done. I'm open to any suggestions. I'm a president for the people. Also, one more thing. Next year, I want to revive live in-person speeches for the next video. I think it's much better. And now, I'd like to take this time to introduce your panel. At Vice President, standing at 6'1", the greatest rec league baller in the history of the game, the man with great ideas, Nick Lombardo. At Secretary, coming in at 5 feet 8 inches, 148 pounds, your favorite immigrant and future track captain, Andrew Marinelli. And last but not least, standing at 5'9", the man that never fails to put a smile on your face, track star, and the #1 point fighter in the world for his age, Bailey Murphy. All four of us are involved in different things, have different personalities, but we all have a common goal. We want to bring the school together. Together, we bring diversity, intelligence, athleticism, leadership, approachability, and involvement to the table. Having such a strong community at ND means having many kids, many teachers, many teams, many different personalities, all trying to find their passion. As for me, like a lot of you out there, I'm still figuring it out. But I know one thing, that I have a passion for helping people and working with others on a team. We also want a panel who wants the job. We want a president who would actually like the job. And if elected president, I believe that I would enjoy and cherish the job the most and have a lot of fun with it, carrying that energy into you guys, the students. I would be extremely grateful to receive your vote. Thank you. Slade D.